They stand where effort ends, and permanence begins. A wall of height and stone, holding the horizon in place through nothing more than time. From far away, they command attention. From here, they overwhelm it. Every line rises with intent. Every slope drawing the eye upwards until scale no longer is something measured, but something felt. To stand among them, even for a moment, is a quiet privilege, one that leaves you aware of how small you are and how steady some things choose to be. When the sound returns, it feels subdued, as if the place itself has set the tone. Artemis moves with me now, still curious, but steadier than she once was. There is less chaos in her energy, more awareness. Out here, growth feels inevitable. The environment does not rush it, but it does not allow you to remain unchanged either. Being immersed beneath these peaks demands something from you. The mountains loom directly overhead, steep and unbroken, filling the sky until there is nowhere else for the mind to wander. Reverence isn't a gesture here. It's a response. Anything less would feel dishonest. A denial of what stands above and around us. Humility settles in, and not as a thought, but as a condition. You listen longer. You become aware of your place within something far larger than yourself. Persistence begins here, and not as effort or ambition, but as acceptance. To exist beneath this kind of presence is to understand that some landscapes do not need interpretation. They simply ask you to pay attention. Nothing here adjusts itself for our presence. Seasons pass. Weather comes and goes. The mountains remain, shaped by pressure and patience, carrying the weight of ages without concern for how briefly they are visited. Silence settles differently here. It isn't empty, It's layered. From above, the lake appears unchanged, calm and contained, holding its shape without offering explanation. And somewhere nearby, life moves just out of view, leaving only sound behind. Frost grips the shaded ground. Snow lingers in the underbrush, tucked into places that haven't yet been touched by daylight. Nothing demands attention, and nothing competes for it.
I walked here slow, like the ground might speak, like it might tell me why you left so deep. The air is thin, the world feels small, every step says nothing at all.
This place is familiar. I've returned to it more times than I can count, and it has never promised anything in return. The water looks the same whether I arrive hopeful or resigned. Cast after cast, season after season, the outcome has often been absence. No strike, no reward, just cold air, quiet water, and time stretching longer than expected. The lake does not acknowledge persistence. It does not remember failure. It simply remains. In a world that feels increasingly loud, where headlines compete for attention and urgency is treated as virtue, places like this offer something rare. Here, slowing down is not avoidance. It is engagement. Being present without stimulation becomes an act of focus. Time is no longer something to be managed or escaped. It is something to be inhabited.
Cold don't judge, it just remains. It lays everything down the same. And I thought time would loosen the ache, but it just taught me what I can't replace.
The mountains above humble through their size and certainty. Their presence presses down, demanding respect simply by existing. The lake humbles differently. It withholds. It offers no reassurance, no visible progress, no sense that persistence is being noted or rewarded. It teaches patience by remaining indifferent to effort.
If you hear me, don't answer back. I wouldn't know how to handle that. Let the quiet keep it shade. Let the snow stay where it's laid.
And yet, this is where persistence becomes personal. The only thing left to do is show up again, to stand in the cold, to make another cast, to remain when leaving would be easier. Persistence does not promise outcomes. Sometimes it only promises continuity, and sometimes that is enough to keep you here long enough to be changed by the waiting. You know, I've been defeated by this lake every single time I've come here. I've never once caught a fish. I have seen fish in here. I know it's not a matter of technique. I know how to catch fish. So this lake has been a challenge, and I've basically made it kind of a goal to catch a fish out of this lake. One of these days I'll catch a fish. Maybe not today, but one day. That's the goal. I am not kidding when I say this. I literally got these very lethargically burning logs fished from this lake. You can't see the lake. Are they burning really slow? Absolutely. Is it probably the most pitiful looking fire ever? Definitely. But you know what? I'm burning wet wood. I'm combusting a sponge. I finally caught one. Look at this beautiful brookie. Look at this. We're gonna have a catch and cook. Look at that. My goodness. That's a nice sized brookie too. And he just inhaled that sucker. Look at that. Well then. Finally. Persistence won out. The way late part of night, I finally got one at this lake. And I refused to give up. And now I have my reward. I am going to eat this guy. I am hungry. Oh, gross. It's still moving and it's got no head. Well, that's how it goes. Oh, boy. Oh, yeah. Got some bones in that, but you know what? Super flaky, super delicious. I'm not mad at all. Let's try that. Mm-hmm. That was done good. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's dark. It's cold. And there's God knows what's out there in the woods. Out here, visibility is everything. And bad lighting turns simple decisions into guesses. Good thing I upgraded my 2010 F-150 with Lasfit lighting. Oh, found it. Up front, I replaced the factory halogen setup with their premium LED headlight system, running dual beam conversion for both high and low output. Speaking of output, each bulb pushes several thousand lumens, which is a massive jump over stock halogens, and the difference shows immediately. I paired that with their dual-colored LED fog lights, giving me both a 6,000 lumen beam for normal night driving and a 3,000 lumen amber option when weather rolls in. And yes, I even replaced the reverse lights, which made another massive difference. Across the truck, the transition to LED brings higher luminosity, cleaner color temperature around the 6,000 lumen range, and more consistent light output overall. Lasfit has built a solid reputation in automotive lighting, and after running their products across this truck in the real backcountry conditions, I understand why. They've also been a consistent sponsor of this channel, and credit where it's due. I don't keep partnerships that don't hold up where I film. And if you want to check out the entire product lineup for Lasfit, check out the link in the description. Thank you, Lasfit, for being a continued sponsor to Dan's Backcountry. Now, back to our story. Overnight, the weather changed. That's winter here. It happens quietly, without notice, often while you're asleep. What felt settled the evening before gives way to movement by morning. In the Pacific Northwest, this kind of shift is normal. In the mountains, it's magnified. Systems move faster, conditions stack. What you wake up to rarely matches what you fell asleep with. This is the shape of the day, and it asks to be met as it is. Artemis and I move together, hunting for grouse, knowing how they tend to behave when wind works its way through the timber. They hunker down, they wait. That knowledge doesn't alter the path or shorten the day. I still walk the edges. I still pause where it makes sense. Being out here has never depended on certainty. As the hours pass, the weather continues to shift, and the wind sharpens, and then the temperature edges upwards just enough for rain to take its place. It starts lightly at first, barely noticeable, then settles into a steady, soaking rhythm that works its way through layers and into the cold. The kind of rain that doesn't shock you, just stays with you. There's a steadiness that develops when you keep moving in conditions like this. Snow underfoot steadily gives way to wet ground, and the entire environment around you changes before your very eyes. Artemis stays close, alert and calm, moving with intention now. At some point, she stopped feeling like a puppy learning the world and started feeling like a dog that belongs in it. Growth arrives that way, quietly, through repetition rather than milestones. Time moves differently on days like this. Nothing urges you forward, nothing pulls you back. You stay because leaving early would feel like letting discomfort decide when persistence ends. Out here, patience becomes physical. You feel it in the cold rain on your hands, in the steady pace of walking, in the willingness to keep going without expecting the day to improve. Eventually, the forest begins to thin and the ground levels out. The sound changes as the wind finds more room to move. By the time I reach the lake, the rain has fully settled in, tapping against the surface and flattening what little reflection might have been left. It has been a full year since Artemis stood on this shoreline, back when she was still all motion and impulse. Long before her, this was Winnie's Lake, a place she loved without reservation. Winter has been at work again. Storms have reshaped the banks. Rising and falling water has shifted logs and stones. Periods of rapid snowmelt, followed by retreating floodwaters, have quietly redrawn the edges. The lake hasn't lost its identity, but it has changed its outline. That's the rhythm of this place. Nothing remains fixed for long. Rain settles in as evening approaches, steady enough to change the sound of the entire forest. The last light thins and flattens, slipping behind clouds that have no interest in breaking open again tonight. Wind keeps moving through the trees, and the rain follows it, tapping needles and leaves, dripping from branches with heavy drops that land with quiet insistence. The day has been changing since the moment it began. And now it finishes the way winter often finishes here, cold, wet, and completely unbothered by whatever I may have preferred. I sit by the fire and let it become the center of my world. Rain continues to fall beyond the circle of light and warmth, outside of my concern, outside of my control. Sitting by a fire in the rain, there's no performance required. No reaction demanded. The world can keep moving at its pace, and I can keep moving at mine. The last 2 days drift back in pieces, the way memory does, when you aren't forcing it into order. Darkness settles fully, and the fire becomes brighter by comparison. The forest beyond it disappears into a black that feels complete. Rain still audible out there, wind still working through the trees, everything continuing, whether I watch it or not. I lay salmon on a grate over the coals, and let heat do what it does best. This is the moment I always recognize, the part of the evening where the day finally releases its grip. And while the salmon cooks, my thoughts drift upwards to the mountains. That's part of why I come back, not for answers, not for certainty, for perspectives that doesn't need to be argued into place. The mountains remain, whether I am here or not. The lake remains, whether it rewards me or not. The weather moves through on its own schedule. The fire burns, if it's tended. The salmon cooks, if it's given time. The world outside the trees keeps racing, but it doesn't get to decide who I become unless I let it. Sitting here, warm and steady, I feel that boundary clearly. I can accept reality without being dragged by it. I can be shaped by what matters and remain unmoved by what doesn't. Contentment doesn't need a spotlight. It just needs a moment where nothing is demanded. I sit with it until there's nothing left to add.